Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing about strategy and resource allocation. Every organization needs to prepare and develop a strategy, keeping the how the markets are changing and especially for the long-term future plans. So like for next 3 to 5 years, what they are going to do, and then they have to limited resources. So in which brands or units they should invest, where they should get out of the market. So we will be discussing these things. So there are roughly four broad steps when a strategic planning happens. So first thing starts with the corporate mission. Then strategic business units are established. The third part is assigning resources. And the fourth is growth opportunities. So the mission is decided based on what is the core business of the organization, who are its customer, what kind of value it is offering to the customer, where the business would be in, let's say, down the line 5 years, and what should our business be. So these are the some of the guidelines where the corporate first decides on its mission, and accordingly it established different strategic business units. A single business or collection of related business form of business units. They have their own competitions and they have a leader responsible for managing the strategic business unit. This part, once it is done, then the management needs to decide for each SBU how to, assign resources. Resources in terms of money as well as manpower. So one possibility is portfolio planning models and second is share market value analysis. In this we will be discussing a famous McKinsey matrix which is used for assigning resources. It is a 3x3 matrix. On the x-axis you can see strength of the business unit and on the y-axis it is industry attractiveness. Let's first define what these two terms are. So industry attractiveness is based on many parameters. So for example, what is the potential market size? What is the profitability? The growth potential of the industry, segmentation, differentiation and growth rate. So for example, there are industries which are kind of saturated and there are industries which are growing fast. So for example, smart voice speakers, a smartphone few years back, they are witnessing a exponential growth. Social media platform, for example, recent development AI. So these are the markets where we see a lot of growth potential and money. So they are highly attractive. On the reverse side, if you notice the laptop, the market of personal computer, let's say, or older technology, it is shrinking. The second part of business unit depends on the strength. So what kind of competitive advantages the unit has, the value of the brand, the loyalty of the customer, how much market share that SBU has, what kind of internal competency it has, and production capacity, production line. So this focuses more on the strength of the SBU. So for example, if you take a brand of, let's say, Coca-Cola, so what kind of, they have a very sustainable competitive advantage and they enjoy a very, high valuation. And most of the markets, they are the market leaders. Now coming back to the matrix. So once we have discussed and defined the attractiveness and SBU, and then based on these two parameters, we give them a value. So let's say high, medium and low. So first we focus on the topmost part, left, where the industry attractiveness is very high and the strength of business is also medium to high. So these are the markets where a business would want to put more money and grow. So this is why the three cells, you can say, they are marked in green color. At the bottom corner, if you notice, the industry attractiveness is from low to medium. So industry is not growing, as well as the business unit strength is also weak. In this case, business may decide, let's take our money out of these markets. So the industry is not going to grow and we are also at the bottom of the table. So better, there is no point in investing. So they may follow harvest or divest strategy. The yellowish part which you see in between, these are the things where the company has to either wait longer or relook at the various parameters. So for example, industry attractiveness, if it low, but you are a market leader. So should you continue in that market? Or if industry attractiveness is very high and you are not able to, get the market share. So you might have noticed some of the companies, they try to enter high growth segment but couldn't do, so they sell their businesses off. So these are the three things where a decision needs to be taken based on either you can wait for 2-3 years or continue with whatever is there. A second popular matrix is known as BCG, Boston Consulting Group Growth Share Matrix. Here what happens, you can see on the y-axis there is a market growth and on the x-axis it is relative market share. So based on these two parameters, the brands or the SBU was assigned. So for example, if you see market growth is low, but you have a very high market share there. So we can say these are cash cows. So most of the FMCG market leading brands come into the cash cow. So you have captured the most of the market and then the brand is doing well. So what happens, these are generating revenues for the firms, and now this money can be invested in multiple brands or extension. Another is called stars, where market is also growing very high and you have a high market share. So market leaders, let's say in smartphone segments, electronic goods, which is going very high. They are stars because you are generating a lot of money from that. We come to the again bottom, so where market growth is not happening, low, and the market share is also low. They are termed as dogs because the money invested is not generating the expected ROI. Then we move to the question marks, where market growth is high, but your market share is high. So again, in these things you have to decide, because the SBUs in this question mark, if you invest, they can be a potential star, and if they are not able to tackle the market competition, they can be potential dogs. So these are the question mark where a business need to decide where they want to go. So this is a short of market growth. This BCG matrix is also known as market growth or market share matrix. Last one is assessing growth opportunities. A company or organization looks at its SBU and then may decide, okay, we need to increase revenues. So there are three ways to do it: intensive growth, integrative, and diversification. Intensive growth means within the business how you can grow. So you can launch improved product, new product line. Integrative growth is how you can do external collaboration and grow. Diversification means you move to a totally different business. So let's understand with some examples. Okay. So for example, Lux may decide that they will launch a premium product which has some different kind of fragrance, so becomes an intensive growth. Okay. Now, intensive growth is another popular matrix, how we decide to grow. So we can see market and product. If market and product both are existing, you need to increase your market share. If there is an existing market and you are entering with a new product, you need to do a product development. If you already have a product and you are going to a new market, then you have to do a market development. And if both are new, then it is called diversification. So for example, if we take example of Cadbury Dairy Milk, so the Indian market exists, the product exists, the only way to grow is that they increase their market share. When McDonald's came to India, they already had a market of people who are interested in eating burgers, but they didn't have the burger suited to Indian culture. So for example, they have to introduce the paneer and aloo tikki to meet that. They could not sell the beef and meat based products here. Integrated growth, for example, so like Idea and Vodafone have merged, Airtel and Telenor have merged, and Axis Bank has bought Freecharge. So these are the things where a business increases sales and profit either backward, forward, or horizontal integration within the same businesses and industry. Last one is diversification growth. So for example, Disney is a very prime example, who started with cartoon animation. They moved to amusement parks. Then they are into streaming services. They become a media house, movie production house, and they are also selling a lot of merchandising. So they have moved in various different businesses to get the growth going. So this is where the overall idea of how you do a resource allocation, what kind of strategies you can identify to grow, when you need to decide invest more, when you can advise to divest from the business and move out. So this is all about market strategy and resource allocation. Thank you.